Now,
Yeah.
speaking of putting money down,
Yep.
there has been a very,
Oh.
very interesting topic in the NBA offseason.
Uh-huh.
Now, before I get into this, Pablo Torre, he's Filipino American,
Right.
kababayan Pablo.
Yeah.
Pare, pare. So he used to work at ESPN. I believe he's independent now.
Mm-hmm.
He has a show on YouTube. Pablo Torre finds out.
Mm-hmm.
He made this amazing video with regards to this topic that
Uh-huh.
we're gonna talk about now. And I suggest anyone who has interest in this topic, go find that video. Go to Pablo Torres' YouTube page. Pablo Torre finds out
Mm-hmm.
and watch this video because the investigation that they did was amazing. How they dug deep. So what we're talking about
Mm-hmm.
is Michael Beasley, ex-Laker,
Malik.
right? Ex-Laker.
Oh wait.
Sorry,
Malik Beasley. Yeah.
that
Malik
was
Beasley.
his. That's his dad. Sorry, Malik Beasley. My
Yeah.
bad. Malik Beasley,
Michael Beasley's
ex-Laker.
Michael Beasley's the Lance Stevenson.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
another topic for another day.
Yeah.
But actually, I think Michael Beasley's the name of his dad too,
Oh, okay.
if I'm not mistaken.
Uh,
But Malik Beasley, ex-Laker,
right.
part of that trade, which got rid of Westbrook.
Uh-huh.
They got us D'Lo and Vando.
Yep.
Malik Beasley is embroiled in a betting scandal. Really, what's happening is that apparently he's being investigated by the feds
Oof.
for participating in sports gambling.
Mm.
Now, we already had a player banned for this, John Tay Porter,
Right.
and the story with that was that John Tay Porter was giving information about games. He
Uh-huh.
was shaving points. He was
Oh.
essentially betting on himself
Right.
on the unders
Right.
and just cashing out. And he's been banned from the league for life. And looks like well, no, he Malik hasn't been charged yet. Okay, there's alleged behavior
Right.
that he's done it. And let's go. I want to go into the details of this case real quick, but what are your thoughts on sports gambling in general? There's obviously a lot of push now with regards to advertisements, and you can see it everywhere in all broadcasts. You got the FanDuels, you got the
Right.
DraftKings, you have all that.
DraftKings.
What are your thoughts on the whole sports gambling thing?
I think we kind of touched on this, that it generates revenue, a lot. Like in my recent trips to Vegas, like a lot of the casinos now have huge sports gambling rooms, multiple big screen TVs with all different kinds of sports, and it's it's a casual, like activity. It's just like, I think for me, it's just like any other method of gambling, whether it's, blackjack, whether it's slot machines, it's something that, as average Joe Schmo, it's good to press your luck. It's good to, to try your luck sometimes. But of course, if it kind of, if it drains your income, impacts your, your budgeting and all that, as a family guy, as an average, middle class citizen, as soon as it kind of negatively affects, your relationships and everything, that's when you have a gambling problem. Now, with sports athletes, with professional athletes dabbling into this business, our thing is they shouldn't be able to. But the question is, anyone could go on a Caesar's Palace or MGM Sportsbook app and
Yep.
register an account. How are you going to regulate that with sports athletes? Like, it's just, it's fair game. Like, it's open to everyone. It's interesting because sports gambling is illegal in California. So
Wait, what is it?
yeah, it's legal here in California.
So So if let's say you have the app now, you
Yeah.
can't use it because you're in
Yeah.
California.
As soon as you cross
Ah,
California
okay.
state line, your app's not gonna work. Yeah.
That's
As soon as
funny.
it's funny because I do have the Caesar Sportsbook. As
Right.
soon as I crossed Nevada, our last road trip to Vegas, as soon as we crossed Nevada, I was able to I was able to check the lines. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, okay, so that means location services is on
Yeah.
as well. Okay, so
Yeah.
look, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So for here in New Zealand, it's legal as well,
It's
but
legal.
it's not as the look. There's the prop bets aren't as plentiful as the ones in the U.S. because
Mm.
I don't. There's this Instagram account that I see on Reels sometimes where the prop bet is they bet on Angel Reese missing her first shot. And they just put a series out there that they just bet on this line every time
Oh,
because I mean we all I'm Angel Reese is another topic, but we also
Ew.
we all see how she plays and what her form is and whatnot. So these guys are kind of making some money off of it because she's probably most of the time she's probably gonna miss her first shot. Let's be real, right? But
the memes are crazy with Angel Reese, man. Like
it's insane. It's funny.
like
It's
building houses and shit.
yeah, right. So there's I want to get into that topic eventually,
Yeah.
but from a gambling perspective, the prop bets are what makes this thing tick, right? Because
Yeah.
as we said with Jonte Porter, the bets he was making on himself was he was taking the under really, so he would purposely not shoot the ball or miss a
Right.
shot or not get the
Yeah.
rebound just so the prop bets can fly. So allegedly with Malik Beasley, that was essentially the case. So what was happening was and Pablo Torre found video about this. So there was and even they put up stats really. So there was a time when I believe I think he was I think he was with Minnesota if I'm not mistaken with this game. I'm not 100% about that. But he was with a team that was not the Detroit Pistons, and what happened was the line was if it the line was 7.5 really. So they were, I believe, down 6 or something like that. So he probably, I don't know if he bet on the over or the under, but he basically took the rebound off a free throw and drained the three. Or no, he dunked it. He dunked the ball. I think the lead was 7, and he dunked the ball to get it up to 9. So he probably took the under in that one. He
Right.
rushed it, man. You can see him rushing down the floor. I think it was 5 seconds left or something crazy like that. The game was out of reach, really, and he just raced down the floor like Giannis, and just dunked it before the buzzer sounded, just to preserve the line. That was insane. So that was probably one of the cases that, if I was the feds, I would look at that. So
Right.
you can make the case that Malik was allegedly putting money on his own games,
Right.
and he's probably in touch with certain people in the gambling world. And
Yeah.
there was even this one video with Gary Payton Jr.
Hmm.
So there was some reaction on the Warriors bench wherein they knew what the line was and they knew what the score was, and you can see when the other team made a 3 to push the score to some place where the under would lose. Basically, they probably bet on the under,
Right.
and then you can see him visibly mouthing stuff pertaining to probably a prop bet that one of them made at least.
Wow.
So there is a case to be made here,
Right.
where you probably know that NBA players are betting on games. Now,
Yeah.
you made a good point. How are you
regulating
going
it?
to
Yeah.
enforce that? Because I don't think they should be betting on themselves either. I think that's probably not what you want out of this. To be clear, I have no problem with sports gambling. The problem that I have is when it influences games like this.
Yes.
But it's just again, it's slippery slope. How are you gonna regulate it? How are you gonna make sure that people don't do it? Because in the MMA world, there was a very, very similar case. So let me just tell you a story real quick. So James Krause used to be fighting in the UFC. He was coaching. after. And what happened in that case was, so when you're a you're a gym coach. Really, you obviously have fighters that are
Right.
fighting under you,
Did he
and
coach in Ultimate Fighter?
don't remember. He was probably there. I
Uh-huh.
think he was. I think he was in one season.
Uh,
But what happened was he was coaching this fighter, and the fighter was injured, right? And he knew the fighter was injured, but he didn't disclose it to the UFC.
oh,
But I believe, if I remember correctly, the fighter was favored to win that fight. But that was without the knowledge of the injury. So what he did was he had a paid Discord server, and he obviously took subscriptions. So he took money from people to join that server, and he gave them that information that, hey, this fighter's injured. You bet against him, and that's what happened. So the Vegas lights shifted from, okay, so this guy's favored. So why is he now? Why is the line moving this crazily?
Yeah.
Because you have a lot of people pumping money
Right.
the other way.
without the knowledge.
So
that
Vegas
he-
noticed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Vegas noticed that he was injured. No one knew, and obviously people cashed out. But then he got investigated. I believe he got. Not sure what the status of the case was. I don't want to misrepresent it, but what happened eventually was UFC fighters were banned from participating in it.
From
Now
participating.
again, how are you gonna regulate that?
Yeah.
There's no way for you to just. I mean, are you gonna look at their apps? Are you gonna look at their logins? There's no way for
Right.
you to efficiently officiate this, and there's so much money in this to be made. And
Yeah.
you can't blame these people for. I mean, look, I can blame NBA players for participating in this. You're making millions of dollars, but for UFC fighters, it's a different story. But
Yeah.
look, this is a very slippery slope, and there has to be some sort of action here, because what you don't want is for these sports to have that stain, to
Yeah.
have that reputation of
Right.
being fixed. Because we're already talking about it. We talked about this on the show already,
It's been going on like for
right?
yeah. Even with baseball, yeah.
Pete Rose, right? And
Black,
you don't want
Black-
to, you don't.
way before Pete Rose, like the Black Sox scandal.
You don't
So,
want to make
yeah.
this situation worse.
Yeah.
I understand why sports gambling exists. It's fun. I participated in it. There's a local sports book in here that I usually
Yep.
frequent. Dude, I won so much money when Nate Diaz beat McGregor.
Oh.
I bet some money on him. You know,
Oh.
that kind of paid for a vacation, to be honest with you. But
Which one? Like,
You know-
which fight?
the McGregor Diaz fight, Nate Diaz.
Oh, the Diaz McGregor fight. Yeah.
So I've always been a Diaz brothers fan. If
Okay,
anybody
yep.
knows me, and I love
Yep.
MMA, so I you know what, I put a couple of stacks on Nate Diaz, even though it was a short notice fight,
Uh-huh.
and it paid off, man. Look at
Yeah.
that, look at that. So, but that's it's just for fun, really. I mean, some people
Yeah.
take this really seriously, though. So,
Right.
but that's slippery slope that has to be addressed, because I don't want people thinking the NBA is rigged.
Yeah.
Right? We can joke about it all we want.
We can joke about it,
speculate
yeah,
about it all we
definitely.
want. But
Yeah.
the Tim Donaghy scandal provided, just taught us that there's more to this than what
Oh,
you
yeah.
can see. David Stern tried to cover it up, but we all know there was some shady stuff that happened there. So hopefully, this is something that the NBA or anyone really, I mean,
Yeah.
all the sports leagues, NFL can do this. I think if you want to put, if you want sports betting to exist in conjunction with the sports themselves, then you have to make sure that the integrity of the sports remain the same.